All right, so it is Happy Festivus night. Now, this is going to turn into an annual show. We do have a Festivus show as our last one for the year, where you get to air your grievances. For those who have seen Seinfeld, you'll understand that reference. CB, I think this is kind of your baby, so I'll let you tee off and start us off. And I have a feeling that if CB does mention someone that you other gentlemen want to roast as well, feel free to double up. We don't have to ease off, because I feel like there could be a few of the same people in the targets for a few of us. But CB, I think it's only fair that you kick off the grievances for Festivus.
Okay. I'm actually going to leave off the obvious, because I know the two gentlemen below me on the screen want to have a say about a couple things. Damien Hardwick, you're my first Festivus rant. I still love you. Understand this. I still love you. You did wonderful things for our club, but you just need to back the fuck off out of our club and stop trying to take our people. And it's ruining your legacy. So please, mate, there's 70 other clubs you can rape, pillage, and put your Viking horns on and do whatever you want to do. Girls from accounting, I don't care. Can you just stay the hell away from our club? And the whole thing that's annoyed me with him is it's a bloody bed of lies that he lives on. And I know the AFL had a hand in him leaving us. He's cooked the snags. 6 weeks later, he's at Gold Coast. He's having a cup of coffee with Daniel Rioli. It's all innocent. Oh, no, it's not. He takes a contracted player. He takes our IT guys, and he's approached others within the club. I mean, there's even talk, and maybe you two boys will know more. There's even talk around Livo that he's having a crack trying to get him over. He just needs to he's ruining his legacy, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels that way about it. That's my first rant.
I disagree 100%. Every person that leaves a club tries to take players with them, and he's sitting there saying, "Oh, he's taking Daniel Rioli from the club that gave us lunchtime and meatballs."
Hey, you can't tell me how I feel, Mr. Wig.
I can't tell you how you feel, but it just makes me laugh. I love it. It makes me laugh.
Very good. All right, so Dimmer's first up. Who have you got next, CB?
No, I'll talk to the other boys now. They can go next.
Sure. Okay. We're going one for one. All right. EJ.
All right. Well, I'll stay away from the obvious as well. My first rant / award will be the Bridget McKenzie Sports Rorts Award I give to the Geelong Football Club. You people are a disgrace. I mean, there's a report in the Age today that players are loaning player sponsor money. Now, so they have a picture of a contract. It doesn't have little Jolie's signature on it, but there's one of their player sponsors that's under investigation for fraud and all sorts of stuff. And the idea is that the player, not the sponsor, the player loans the sponsor $100,000 and gets 15% interest on it in return. What a way! I mean, it's not bad enough that you're going to do cotton on for 40 players on your list, that you're going to cook up bullshit bloody loans. Give me a spell.
Someone had to step in for Brent Costa.
Mate, fair income. This scheme is so good, Carlton's even envious of the bullshit that Geelong are pulling right now.
Trying to get him over from Busy.
Oh, yeah. Unbelievable. If you haven't read it in the Age, I'd go and sort it out. It is dead set unbelievable.
That's a very good start, EJ. I like that. When he sent that through, I was just shaking my head. Well, they can't be serious that's legit, but here we are. Grok, are you going the obvious one? Because I haven't written anything about it, so hopefully you do.
Yeah, no, I've gone the obvious, Sam McClure. Now, I spent a good portion of my lunch break at work typing up a nice little script for this. So, let's get this started, Sam McClure. The herpes of the AFL media landscape. No one wants him. He's irritating and he won't go away. I know we've given shit to cane corns about being clickbait, but at what point is this pathologically lying narcissist going to be called out for the inherently false diarrhea that he spews every year as breaking news that ultimately does not come to fruition? Let's run this back with some of his most famous calls. In 2022, he stated that categorically that Jordan De Goey would not be at Collingwood in 2023. Not only did De Goey stay, but he ended up winning a flag with the Pies. This was also where he stated that there was a very large chance that Dustin Martin leaves Richmond, thus beginning the Dusty saga. Fast forward 12 months later, West Coast will not take the risk on drafting Harley Reid at pick 1. He spouted this nonsense for weeks, that West Coast would not do it, and up until a week before the draft, he was still adamant that it wasn't going to happen. Harley Reid goes pick number 1. After this, he again starts up the Dusty leaving bullshit, saying that Dusty needs to be traded for the club's sake, saying that he could not be on the list in 2024 if we were to be serious. This was such a brain-dead comment, as we had lost a large chunk of experience at the end of 2022 in Kane Lambert, Shane Edwards, and Josh Caddy, and at the end of 2023, we lost Cochin and Rewalt. It meant Dusty was the most senior player on our list. Now let's talk about 2024. Mid-year, he was adamant that Petrarca would not be a demon in 2025, as his meeting with the players left his position at the club untenable. We know how that turned out. Then, of course, he had to start up his Dusty agenda again by saying that Dusty would be at the Suns in 2025. As his meeting, he stated this every week that Dusty played, after his 300th, after his farewell game, after the Brownlow that Dusty didn't attend, after the Jack Dial medal, even after Dusty himself said that he was happily retired. He said it again in the lead up to the draft, even though it was impossible, as Dusty had not registered for the draft, as is required. He has spent the best part of 3 years getting nearly every major call he has made wrong, and his agenda against Dusty has been sickening. His hit rate with accurate news would be lower than Helen Keller playing baseball. I don't know any fan who has anything nice to say about him. And I am surprised he's everywhere in football media. This is what happens when sports journalists favour clicks and views over the actual reporting of facts. It has become a stain on the game I used to love, but the oversaturation of false news and clickbait journos has lessened my joy for the game, especially by the walking billboard advertisement for contraception, Sam Manure.
Well deserved. He wins the gold star for this year's just most stupid bullshit mentioned by a journo. Closely followed by the Ox, who I think deserves to be mentioned in the same kind of breath as well, who was telling people to put their house on it, take the money to the bank and get the interest, double down, triple down, that he was adamant that he was leaving on the back of being on a golfing venture with a couple of Richmond people who said he was gone. I don't think the Ox has quite worked out yet that he was just being fed bullshit and he's just been caught out because, yeah, to double and triple down and then for it to not eventuate, it just never made sense for Dusty. It never made sense for Gold Coast. It was just not happening. And I don't know why they kept persisting with it. They were being fed something from somewhere, but they were just horribly, horribly wrong. And, you know, it's a shame because they really kind of did sour a couple of really good moments on Dusty's career. And he might have given more to the media had they not turned him away so much. But they got themselves to blame.
EJ, sorry, Grok, just back on yours. And don't forget when he had his big departure from 3AW, he still gave Richmond a serve, didn't he?
Yeah.
He actually tried to blame it on us.
Yeah, he's like, going out and saying, you know, that we treated Dusty poorly and all of this.
Poorly?
Like,
did he watch the Hawthorn game?
Yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, his views are just like his haircut, pretentious and slimy. Like, yeah.
I mean, Ox said, put your house on it. Taking gambling advice from David Schwartz is like taking bushfire advice from Scott Morrison. I mean, he's just like, and I've actually met the Ox, and he's a lovely fella. But the one thing that annoys me about the Ox, Brendan Favola, Spam McClellis, all these guys, is it's okay to be wrong, but when you are wrong, to put your hand up and admit it and say, I got it wrong.
Yeah.
The people that do that are the ones that have credibility, right?
Yeah.
And taking into the middle of Grock's spiel there with McClure, when he said that West Coast won't pick Harley, the arrogance and the smugness, they're not going to pick him, Mitch. Like, it's that's the part about it. It's not that it's a considered view. It was the arrogance and the smugness of the way that it's delivered is what gets people offside.
Yeah.
You know, we've got reporters that people have respect for because they're not assholes in the way that they do it. That's the double down factor.
And to go further on your point, EJ, I remember last year when Hutchie and Damo were pissing and moaning about not getting enough access to AFL players, comparing it to the NFL. And it's like, hang on, guys. The NFL reporters treat their players with far more respect and dignity than anything that we've ever done. So, of course, they're going to be a bit more open. They've actually got good relationships. They can have banter. They can have open conversations and have a little bit of trust in them. Whereas the guys we've got here are just absolute snipers trying to be first rather than trying to be right. It's like, no wonder they give you no time of day.
There are issues in the NFL as well. I don't know about 5-10 years ago if any of you guys have heard of a running back named Marshawn Lynch. He was a human wrecking ball, right? And they have a media access day in the Super Bowl, in the lead up to the Super Bowl, where every player has to be available. He sat there for an hour. They asked him questions, and his answer was, I'm just here so I don't get fined. And they'd ask another question, I'm just here so I don't get fined. He repeated the same line for an hour straight.
Jesus Christ.
And I wish Dusty had done that.
He pretty much did without saying it, I guess. Second one, CB?
I'll just say on the media landscape in general, I've got problems. So when I've got a thing here from news.com sport, and this is on Twitter, the Tigers are drawing a line under their premiership era, and the actual heading is Dustin Martin wiped from history in rare AFL move. And that's all because we're resting his jumper for 12 months. Now, it's stuff like that. I just implore any Richmond, just don't even click it. Don't do anything. It just needs to die a death. And then they call us feral. Well, no wonder we keep receipts. I mean, let's go to the next guy. Mark Bickley. Fancy saying in November that a club is not going to win a game in the following season, and a ball hasn't even been kicked in anger.
Hasn't happened since 1964.
Now, seriously, why would you invite that heat on yourself down the line? And he's like, oh, geez, those Richmond supporters are feral. Get all defensive like Ox did. No, you're an idiot. If you want to put that out there, then be prepared for the consequences of a club that has 100,000 members that's going to come back and just jam it up your clacker as hard and fast as they can because you deserve it. And that's all I got to say, really. Just the hottest.
This is where I get torn because, I understand the point. Don't give them the time of day, but on the other hand, I'm like, you know what? Call them out if they've made up something that's blatantly bullshit and is wrong. Call it out because, to your point, if you're not going to own up to it, then we'll force you to own up to it, pretty much. So I think fair play for calling him out. So, does anybody else have any grievances, whether they're footy related or not?
I've got a grievance.
Go on, EJ. Get stuck in.
Right. My next one is the Port Adelaide 2007 or the Buffalo Bills. Why turn up to the Big Dance Award It goes to the Sydney Swans.
Oh,
Grand final day is an institution in this country. We all get together. We have barbecues. We have too many drinks before the first bounce. And we have friends around and we sit there and all we want is a good game. Now, in the NFL, the Buffalo Bills turned up 4 years straight and lost the big dance 4 years in a row. Sydney have ruined grand final day twice in the last few years. If you're not going to put the effort in, just don't turn up.
do us all a favour. It's a fair
Do us
call.
all a favour.
It's pretty flattening when you
It
know
is.
the game's done at halftime. Although, you know, when we did that to GWS, that was a lot of fun. But as a neutral watching it, it's shit house.
Yeah, you can't
I've
beat
got
someone.
a Festivus sweet and sour. Sweet, Brian Taylor, no longer on Friday Night Football. Fantastic. Sour, they've replaced it with an even bigger dickhead in Kane Corns. So I just think the one thing I'll say, everyone's sort of been going mental about, you know, the AFL going woke and now you've got different calls and things like that. But can I just say, if Friday Night Football's got Kane Corns on it, sorry, Channel 7, I'm going to be listening to the Jared Healy call every day of the week. So I do not hear, I don't listen to Kane Corns on radio. I just do not have anything to do with it. And yeah, I can't support dickheads like that. So for me, I'll be on Team Watley on Friday Night Football or what have you. Cannot support that Channel 7 lineup.
Fair enough. Grock, any other grievances?
Yeah, as a Victorian who loves his cricket, I am pissed that Scotty Boland got dropped. I am sorry, but Mr. Consistent, whose line and length has troubled England, and he gets dropped. I'm sorry, but that's just a piss poor call. Like, he is the one that builds the pressure for Stark and Cummins to take those wickets, and he gets dropped. I'm sorry, but I think that's just a bullshit call.
Yep.
That's fair enough. I'm going to take aim at Coles and Woolworths briefly. Since when has a packet of chips being on special for $6 been a special price or at half price? What is... I couldn't believe what I was reading when I see the nice little yellow ticket, like, oh, hello, what's on special this week? And you got a regular sized bag of chips for half price at $6. Like, how is that the normal way in the world we live in these days? It's just crazy. And then to go further on that, the pancake parlor, you can piss off as well. The price you pay at the pancake parlor for the portion size you get is an absolute joke. We went on the weekend. Disgusting. They bought out deluxe fries. We had to ask if it was an entree size, it was actually a meal, or what the go was. Horrible. Do not recommend.
Right.
Anyway.
A new craze that's starting. And if you're doing it, stop it. Glitter gravy. There's now an edible glitter gravy. And let me tell you, if I see that shit on my plate, I'm fucking piffing it into the wall. Gravy is gravy. Do not glitter gravy ever.
Wait. So people are putting actual edible bits of glitter into the gravy?
Yep.
Yes,
Edible,
it's a real thing. Look up
dust and
glitter gravy.
everything,
Look, I'm all for putting edibles into gravy, but I don't think having the same conversation.
yeah. Absolutely.
What restaurants are doing this?
It's just
It's
a
huge fruit, yeah.
it's
That's
just a
the
thing.
reason Sizzler went out of business.
Oh, Sizzler, bring them back. How good were they? How good was the pan bread?
Yeah, it was a Sizzler. Yeah.
It was just
Just
about
like
the
the
bread.
steak with the little flag on it.
Oh goodness, yeah.
I've got one more.
Yep, go on.
Bar humbug to whoever discontinued Celebrations Christmas chocolate. Now, don't get me started on the price of chocolate these days. You know, $17 half price for the family size roses, $34 for a bloody box. But the best part of the Celebrations box was the Maltesers and the Bounties, and you can't buy them anymore. You can't buy the Celebrations box or the tins, which is complete bullshit. That's Christmas ruined.
Yeah,
Right.
that's un-Australian.
All you people,
You've actually
saying Moro bars,
you've started something off here, Grok. Whilst you're
Moro
at it,
bars,
bloody
Moro bars
shrimp- no,
are not the same as Mars bars.
They're not.
They're like
they taste completely different.
C-grade bar.
Right.
They're Mars bars from Wish. Mars bars from Wish.
Whilst Groc's on his grocery bloody rampage, shrinkflation, right? Have you seen the size of a Big Mac now compared to what it used to be? It's a fucking slide. Oh, excuse me. It's a bloody. I apologise. I don't normally do that. It's a bloody slider. And have you seen the size? Have you seen the size of a Kingston biscuit? It's like one of those little macarons. Like
Rubbery.
So they don't put the price up. They take the size of the item down, and it really, really annoys me. Shrinkflation.
Aldi, you're not fooling anybody by having a packet of chips a metre big, and it's like nearly a whole metre of air and a few chips at the bottom. You're not fooling anybody, Aldi. Do better.
Actually, I got one more grievance that's food related. The people who work at Uber Eats or DoorDash, have a look when you're dropping shit off at people's houses. Have a look at the orientation of the doors, and don't make me go full fucking MacGyver to get my hand under the screen door to move the bag to the side to be able to then get it inside. Have a look at how the door's set up and just put it to the side so we don't have to crawl and try and knock things over. Just work it out.
That's all very well and good. I agree with you 100%, Michaels, but just because I dropped an F-bomb doesn't mean that you had to.
Oh, well, it just wound me because it just happens all the time.
The real grievances have come late here.
You people on the road, I deal with you every day. Two things. Truck drivers, you fucking morons. Don't get in the right lane. Stay out of the right lane. Stay in the left lane so us quicker vehicles can get around you, particularly at lights. Do not go truck, blocking both lanes. You know who you are in Traralgon, you sons of guns. Secondly, when you're on a highway and it's a 110 zone and you can only do 90, don't be in the right lane. Stick to the left lane, that everybody else who wants to just do the speed limit, not even speed, just the speed limit. Stay out of our lane, because then we have to overtake you on the inside. We look like maniacs. Stay in your lane, you morons.
And if you're doing 95, right, and then you come to an overtaking lane, don't speed up to 110 when we're trying to go past you. Okay?
Or if you're doing 90 on the highway, don't do 90 in the 60 zone so no one can get you into town. Don't do that.
This is our life, CB, driving on the road every day, dealing with idiots.
Every day. Every day. Truck drivers and morons. God damn.
I like how we've gone completely away from footy grievances. This is great. Go on, Grok. What else you got?
One last food one. I stopped off at a cafe on my way to work this morning, and I saw the biggest shock of my fucking life. I was looking, got my coffee, and I was like, "Do I get lunch? No, I'll order something at work." Fish and chips, $27.50 comes with a salad and everything. I'm like, that's not too bad. 2 pieces of sourdough toast with smashed avocado and poached eggs, $28.50. In what world is avocado toast and poached eggs more expensive than bloody fish and chips? Wow. That is insanity. All you hipsters have ruined things for people who want genuine, cheap cafe food now. You've ruined it.
Oh, my God.
Can I say I'm incredibly proud that after leading off the F-bomb brigade,
the train,
we're now a perfect 4 for 4.
No man left behind, EJ. No man left behind. It's one in all in for the last show. One in all in. Oh no, that's good. I feel better. I feel better now that we've gotten that off our chest. Maybe, I mean, maybe we should bring that to the table a bit more often and just helping society with all different problems that are out there.
If I'm on the freeway and you see me coming and you're there looking to turn left in, don't pull out in front of me where I have to do 60 on the road. Wait the 2 seconds. I go past you. You're coming behind. There's no one behind me. Don't do it. You're only making me mad. It's bad enough that I'm listening to right-wing nutjob podcasts. I'm already amped up in a state of frenzy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Gosh.
All right. I reckon that is
tee off.
That is about a wrap for 2024. So again, I know we said it a couple of weeks ago, but thank you, gents, so much for coming on tonight. And again, a massive shout out to Tiggs, who jumped on at the start as well. Good to see you back on, mate, and we look forward to having you back on more often in 2025.